On the occasion of the 30th anniversary of the Magnificat Institute of the Custody of the Holy Land, the Christian Media Center presents a special edition of Terra News, dedicated to music as a tool for peace and dialogue among cultures and religions. Testimonies and stories celebrate 3 decades of hope.
Nel 1988 ho lasciato l'insegnamento di organo al
In
conservatorio.
1988, I left my post teaching organ at the Conservatory of Pesaro because I was asked to go to the Holy Land for musical work. But in 7 years I wasn't able to accomplish anything. In a moment of desperation, I made a pilgrimage on foot from Jerusalem to the shrine of the Madonna in Ein Kerem, to the Visitation, to the shrine of the Magnificat. I asked Our Lady of the Magnificat, is it right that I am here doing nothing, having left the teaching position so important to me? The Madonna understood my despair, and the following June there was the chapter. There I proposed opening a music school, and all the friars accepted the idea. So in the following November we began with 2 teachers, one for solfeggio and one for piano. It was to serve the Basilica of the Holy Sepulchre and other sanctuaries of the custody of the Holy Land.
Così era per il servizio della Chiesa al Santo Sepolcro e agli altri santuari della custodia di Terra Santa.
In 1995, in the heart of Jerusalem's Old City, the music school of the custody of the Holy Land came to life, a unique initiative born to unite through the beauty of music. We studied music with the goal of giving young people a professional opportunity. We worked hard to ensure that students could obtain legal recognition for their studies, and we managed to secure the participation of the Conservatory of Vicenza. This allowed the Italian government to recognize the educational program, granting diplomas valid in both Italy and Europe, just as it does for the Magnificat Institute of Jerusalem. With the precious help of Mrs. Hania Sudasa Bara, who sadly passed away, Father Armando organized the first courses of the Magnificat in a room inside the monastery of St. Saviour. In that small hall stood an old piano, brought back to life by the delicate hands of young students. The Magnificat Institute of Jerusalem was born from the dream of uniting Christians, Muslims and Jews who study and work side by side, bound by a shared passion for music and art.
Io sono stato nominato direttore del Magnificat nel 2014.
When Father Armando returned to Italy, I was appointed director of the Magnificat. It was 2014. I had just finished my studies, and the custos at the time, Pier Battista Pizzaballa, told me, "We have thought of you to direct the school." I had studied music, but some time had passed. It was a great responsibility to begin with, and so I was nervous. Father Armando had been director for 19 years. He was the founder. The school had known only him, and therefore I was anxious. But it turned out to be a beautiful experience. The Magnificat is, in other words, a workshop of coexistence, a place where different cultures and experiences meet and enrich one another.
Una delle cose molto belle del Magnificat è che si può vedere questi semi di...
One of the most beautiful things about the Magnificat is the presence of these seeds of hope in coexistence among Jews, Muslims and Christians. I think it works because it was never forced. If you start a project saying, we want to bring everyone together in the current context of the Holy Land, it wouldn't work. Here we simply decided to teach music and stay open to everyone. Since everyone loves music, everyone came. Now people of all religions play together, study together, and, if I may say, learn to make harmony.
Se mi permettete l'espressione, si impara a fare armonia.
Perché abbiamo cercato sempre di impegnare i ragazzi in modo che cantassero insieme.
We have always sought to involve young people so that they might sing or play together, often with those of different religions and ethnicities. Over time, this became the most authentic ideal of the Magnificat, to bring people together. We have received much support because many have recognized the value of creating opportunities for encounter among young people, Palestinian, Christian or not, Muslim, Jewish, and making them sing together. It is part of the peace project that we all carry in our hearts, and that can be realized especially through shared experiences. And there is nothing more harmonious than music for pursuing an ideal of peace.
E non c'è una cosa più armoniosa della musica per seguire un ideale di pace.
Ho visto tante belle cose qui, per esempio mi ricordo un giorno avevamo concerti.
I have seen many beautiful things. For example, I remember one day when we were in Venice for a concert tour. A Jewish teacher was walking down the street holding hands with a Palestinian boy. For them it was completely normal, and they were speaking in Hebrew. It moved me even more to know that the boy had learned Hebrew at the music school in order to communicate better with his teacher.
Per poter condividere meglio con la professoressa alla quale era affezionato.
The Magnificat has also created a dynamic academic environment that promotes cooperation and harmony among teachers, students and society. While not untouched by the complex political and cultural realities that mark this land, it remains a space of love for music that transcends differences.
Quando è capitato il 7 ottobre, e quindi ovviamente non è stato facile.
Since October the 7th, it hasn't been easy. But Muslims, Christians and Jews, Palestinians and Israelis continue attending school and playing together. I think it's a beautiful message, a drop of hope in the ongoing conflict.
In questo conflitto che purtroppo continua a durare nella Terra Santa.
The school's high academic standards are reinforced through its partnership with the Arrigo Pedrollo Conservatory of Vicenza. Under the supervision of this Italian conservatory and the Ministry of Universities and Research, Magnificat students can earn degrees recognized throughout the European Union and internationally, opening real opportunities for the future.
Ho cercato sempre, sia a livello locale con l'istituto musicale dei palestinesi che c'è a Gerusalemme, anche con le scuole israeliane.
I have always sought, both locally with the Palestinian Music Institute here in Jerusalem and also with Israeli schools, to create opportunities for exchange, recitals, competitions, musical contests for piano, strings and violins. Then we also went on concert tours together with other schools from Zagreb, Italy and Switzerland. We have continuously built relationships, and this has helped the students to grow. Many of them have earned diplomas. Today we have the joy of one student who, having studied with us since childhood at the Magnificat, now teaches piano at the Conservatory of Zurich. And there are others who, for various reasons, have left the Holy Land and now teach in Italian or Swiss schools. So the students have truly responded fully to this commitment to study and reach the highest levels of education.
Quindi i ragazzi veramente hanno risposto in pieno a questo impegno di studiare e di arrivare al top degli studi.
L'Istituto Magnificat.
The Magnificat Institute is responsible for training the new musicians of the Holy Land. This is, in a way, its primary goal. We also have a choir composed mainly of adults, sometimes students, some teachers, or the families of our students. They take part in the great liturgies, Christmas, Holy Week, and other major feasts in the Holy Land. This is what can be seen externally about the Magnificat. Internally, however, it remains a music institute, a classical conservatory, and therefore it doesn't have many opportunities to express itself. That's how the Ayar festival was created. Ayar is the month of May in both Hebrew and Arabic. It used to be called Festival Mum, also in honor of Mother's Day. It was a festival designed to make the Institute known beyond the walls of the old city or this side of town. So we usually look for venues where we can hold concerts every Thursday with our best students, sometimes concerts that bring together students and teachers. It's a kind of outreach that we do for new families. And every year after these concerts, we have new enrollments.
E ogni anno dopo questi concerti abbiamo nuove iscrizioni.
Many people ask us, why don't you also teach Middle Eastern music? Because there are already other schools that do that. The Magnificat has specialized in classical music. The level is high, because in any case our students, midway through their course and at the end, are evaluated by a panel of Italian professionals. We welcome very young children, aged 4 or 5. They begin with a first year called the Children's Group, a preparatory course where they receive a well-rounded musical foundation, rhythm, dance, choreography, music, listening. They learn the names of the notes and start to explore all the instruments. From the age of 6, they can choose one instrument. There's a small selection process based also on their physical characteristics, the shape of their hands, their posture, to see whether they are more suited to a wind instrument, a string instrument, or the keyboard. The first official evaluation level is an exam we call Level A, which takes place around the ages of 10 or 11. After passing that, they enter the preparatory course, 3 years of preparation for the academic program, which then leads to a university degree. So, from the age of 4 or 5, up to 20 or 24, sometimes even more. There are 220 students. That's the maximum capacity of the school until we can have a larger building, and 23 teachers. Supporting the logistics and activities of the school is Maestro Father Corrado Sica, who comes from a family of musicians and has also undertaken systematic studies in music. I belong to the religious province of Salerno Basilicata, a community that counts a large number of friars. We are about 100 spread across this area of southern Italy. As a point of reference, I take the region of Campania, particularly the area of Salerno. It was there that I also held a position in the musical field. After my theological studies, the friars asked me to specialize in music so that I could teach students and novices, and also contribute to the most important celebrations. So I was already active in the region as a musician, organist, choir director, composer, and I was engaged in various music-related activities. He is the composer of the hymn of the Martyrs of Damascus, performed for the first time in the Church of Saint Saviour on the occasion of their canonization, and also of the hymn Super Muros, composed for the entrance of the custars of the Holy Land, Father Francesco Jelpo. He currently serves as Deputy Director and is the principal organist of the Holy Sepulchre. He also skillfully directs the Schola Cantorum during major liturgical celebrations, contributing to making the liturgy even more solemn and engaging.
Per me è una gioia partecipare all'attività proprio più intensa scolastica anche del Magnificat.
For me, it is a joy to take part in the most intense academic activities of the Magnificat because it constantly challenges me. I must always be ready and prepared to provide answers to those who come to us seeking to learn. It is truly a reason for enthusiasm, because it offers me the chance to collaborate with the other friars, such as the director, Father Alberto, and Father Johnny, who was my predecessor as deputy director. With them, and together with the teachers, we experience moments when the joy of music allows us to express at our best what we have learned, putting it not only at the service of the students, but also of the people who take part in liturgies or attend concerts. In the year of the 8th centenary of the Canticle of the Creatures, the deep connection between music and the Franciscan charism emerges strongly, a connection that continues to resonate today as a tangible sign of God's presence among us. We know that when people thought of God, they imagined the music of the angels. When we hear music that is played beautifully, we say it sounds like something that comes from heaven, something that lifts us towards heaven. For Francis, music was a special way of bringing people closer to God. Through what we do, the Magnificat becomes an expression of faith, a way of praising God for His creation, for this music that unites us even through the Canticle of the Creatures. At the end of his life, St. Francis added 2 verses to this canticle, one of which was about forgiveness. At that time, there was a strong conflict between the Podestà of Assisi, the head of the city, and the bishop. St. Francis wrote a verse precisely about forgiveness, and through that music he was able to promote reconciliation. I like to think that the Magnificat today represents something similar, reconciliation achieved through music that can touch everyone's heart. It is through love for music that in some way we manage to bring people together and to heal, at least a little, the many wounds that afflict this land in our time. The Magnificat has reached 30 years, a milestone celebrated last May with great artistry, bringing together students and teachers in a single harmony. The gala concert for the 30th anniversary was a dream we had been nurturing for several years. We had wanted to celebrate the 25th anniversary, but unfortunately it coincided with the COVID period. So we decided to postpone it to the 30th, even though it's not usually considered such an important date. However, we could never have imagined such a great success. It was truly moving to see all the children, students and teachers there with their families. Normally this doesn't happen because lessons are scheduled on different days and each student comes at their own time. The Christmas concert is one of the few occasions when we all gather, but never completely. This time instead, on stage we rehearsed with the entire school together. It was truly an emotional moment. The story will continue in the years to come, sustained by the friars' passion for music, aware both of its value and of the challenges that may arise along the way. I believe that music is something that touches everyone. I don't know anyone who doesn't like music. Maybe we don't all have the same tastes, but there's always something that reaches the heart when we listen to music. Each of us has a genre that speaks to us in a special way. Music enriches every life. At the beginning, difficulties are always visible, but what music gives is an immense treasure. Playing in an orchestra or singing in a choir with people of different cultures and personalities is an extraordinary enrichment. It's unique. And this is what we tell all families when they come. Difficulties, discouragement, and fatigue will come, but they must be overcome because the goal and the treasure that music offers are beyond measure.
Incalcolabile.
Open yourself to a gesture of solidarity and support the mission of the Custody of the Holy Land. The Christian Media Center spreads the good news of Jesus by making known to the world the spirituality of the holy places and the lives of the Christians who live here. Your contribution will help us bring the proclamation of the risen Lord, the most urgent of all, to men and women of every language and nation. To help us concretely, open the QR code. Your choice makes a difference.